Want to know how to make this 3D Cricut mug?
Yes!
Watch this step-by-step tutorial on how to make yours. Hi, my name is Kim with Kimagine DIY, where I hope to help you imagine the possibilities with DIYs and crafts. If that sounds like fun, consider subscribing. Now let's just jump right into this project. Here are the materials you will need. Your Cricut machine or die cutting machine, some weeding tools. I'm using the #1 scoring wheel, a light grip mat, and your standard grip mat, some cardstock. I'm using some white heat transfer vinyl. With your heat press mat, I have my brayer, an easy press 2, some jute twine, and a cellophane bag. Let's open up Cricut Design Space. So we're gonna go over to the top right corner to Projects, click All Projects, and it's the fastest way to find it is if you type in Mug Gift Box. So just select and open. I'm just gonna go right to Make It, and it wants you to cut out your iron-on first. You can click Continue, but make sure you go to Browse Materials and select your everyday iron-on. Luckily, I don't really need to mirror this image, but for the other cut settings, just make sure you select light cardstock. When working with iron-on vinyl, you always want to put the shiny side face down. When you lay your materials down on your mat, I always like to use a brayer or a scraper to adhere it nice and flat. Then load it into the Cricut machine and follow the directions from Design Space, whether you need to load your scoring tool first and then your fine point blade. The best way in weeding your cardstock is actually to flip the mat over and slowly peel the mat back so your cardstock can stay nice and flat. When it comes to weeding your vinyl, it actually pulls off quite easily. And then just make sure to get all those tiny little bits in your design. Now here's the paper for the mug. To get an idea of where you would like your design on the mat, I just temporarily folded it. I'm going to do the heat transfer right on this rectangle. I went to the heat transfer guide and it said 280 degrees. You have to preheat for 5 seconds. And then I always like to use parchment paper to protect the rest of the piece since it's just paper. And I lightly hold down for 30 seconds. You don't want to bend your cardstock. Once it's cool to the touch, then you can peel it off. And then I at first folded most of the score lines by hand. To get sharp edges, I just use my scraper and spatula to help me. Once everything's all folded, you're going to glue the tab together to make the cylinder. Then just flip it upside down and fold all the pieces out. Put one of the hexagons in, and we're gonna line up the little triangle to the edge of the hexagon. So put a dab of glue right on there, line up the edges, and hold it in place for a few seconds. And then just continue all the way around. Just be careful when you line up your lines. And then for the final square, just make sure you get a good perimeter outline. And press and hold, reposition any lines if needed. So it took me a little bit to understand what these score lines were for. And I kind of used my scraper to bend the handle part over. And then I realized it actually fits perfectly on the corner. So that's what those inner score lines are for. We're actually going to bend them in so it just fits nice and tight and snug in that corner. And then just put a line of tacky glue on all your tabs. Now hold it there for a few seconds and then just line the bottom up. You can see how it lines up perfectly with the bottom hexagon as well. Now it's time to add all your fixings. So just open up a cellophane bag and add your hot chocolate in. I think it's cute if you just add some candy canes. If you want, you can add more like candies to it, but this is adorable hot cocoa gift. I just used some jute twine to tie it all together, and you would write your to and from. And there's the finished product. It makes such a cute little gift. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can click the card right up here or click here for the entire playlist. And I will see you guys next week.